Hello everyone and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, and let's just continue where we left off. Okay, so let's talk to Cal. You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. "Hi, Selene," he exclaims. He pauses to pat your pet on the head. "And hello to you too, Ricky Ticky." "Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near Geoponics now," Cal says. "We can run around all we want and nobody will say we're trampling the fields. You should come play here sometime. And bring Ricky Tiki. They'll love it." Nice. Relax in the park. Very nice. More options is always nice. Hello, Tang. Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. "It stings," she says, "because it's made of acid." "Acid snow?" Tang nods. "The HoloNet entry says it isn't harmful. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope." She sticks her tongue out and lets some of the flakes fall on it. "It tastes kind of sour, but sweet," she observes. "Fascinating." Well, I mean, the sourness definitely makes sense. Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. "We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete," she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. "The big mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season?" "Don't know." A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. "There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait." Well, I guess I'm glad that you're excited. Nothing to collect anywhere, right? Doesn't look like it. So this park, that's just relaxation, right? Yeah. Okay. And I'm thinking, like, the forget a memory thing, I'm probably gonna start weeding out the lower numbers just because they make it more difficult to win challenges, I'd say. I mean, we probably want higher numbers in general. Let's go ahead and do some xenobotany. You're pulling weeds from the garden beds when you see Cal scurry past you, moving with a purpose. He doesn't even stop to say hello before he disappears into a barn. Follow him? You have a pet too? You slip into the barn behind Cal, and you're surprised to find him kneeling on the ground, feeding leaves to a small caterpillar-like creature. It scampers around him on its 6 stubby white feet, chirping and chittering at him. You're so surprised, actually, that you let the barn door close too loudly and Cal's head snaps up. "Selene!" he gasps, trying to scoot the creature behind him. "What is that thing?" Cal sighs and scoops up the creature, cradling it in his arms. It immediately flips over and shows Cal its soft pink belly, begging for scritchies. "This is Socks," Cal says quietly. "I found her cocoon in one of the first shipments of mushwood, and I named her species a dillypillar because I couldn't find anything like her in the surveyor archives." "I've been taking care of Socks for years," Cal insists. "She's really sweet, I promise." It's interesting that it's still in a caterpillar state. If it's been that long, I mean. I hope nobody finds out. "Same here," Cal says. Do you remember Mrs. Manners? The mouse we found on the stratospheric? The grown-ups wouldn't let us keep her. He frowns. I wonder what happened to her in engineering. Maybe Tang knows. He places Socks gently into the box and closes the lid. Go back to sleep, little buggy wuggy, he croons. Sleep tight. Selene, can I get your help with something in the barn? Cal asks. You excuse yourself from planting and follow Cal. Okay, not sure why this is happening. It said get to work. I was expecting the card thing. But okay. Something's wrong with Socks, Cal says, closing the door behind you. She won't eat and she cries all the time. You look into Socks' crate. She's almost too big for it now, even curled up in a ball. She raises her head and peeps miserably at you, then curls even tighter, her bulbous antenna drooping. She looks paler, right? Cal says, coming up beside you. And she's always sleepy and cold. I don't know what to do. She won't eat leaves anymore or anything else I bring her. Potatoes, corn, wheat, beans. She just chews them and spits them out. He points to the lid of the box. She's been chewing on her box, too, he says. I'm worried she's going to chew her way out and escape while I'm not here. Cal rubs Socks under her chin, but she barely responds to his touch. You've been outside the walls, right, Selene? I stepped outside the gate. I would not count that as being outside the walls. Have you ever seen any animals like Socks? Full-grown ones. What do they eat? I'm not really surveying. But sure, I'll look next time. Thank you, Selene, Cal says, sighing as he closes the box. I'm really worried. I mean, it's a caterpillar, so maybe it's, metamorphosis time. Because, caterpillars are usually not the end stage. At least, not on Earth. There we go. Also, what does that do? Draw a card. And redraw hand. Where are we at with biology? 62. Okay. You wake to the sound of your parents arguing in hushed tones, clearly trying not to disturb you. You blink away the sleep from your eyes, eventually remembering, wait, isn't today your 13th birthday? Where's your birthday cuddles? Your parents always make a big deal about your birthday. You peek out through the privacy curtains on your bunk and listen in on their argument. You're being unreasonable, your mom says. Selene is a teenager now. You have to give him the opportunity to take calculated risks, or he'll start acting out. That's just what being a teenager is. Going off into the wilderness isn't a calculated risk, your dad replies. It's too dangerous. It feels like a role reversal here. It's weird to hear your parents arguing. If they ever disagree, they sort it out quietly or go to meditation. This time they sound really upset. It's unsettling. But I shouldn't be dismissive of the dangers. Yeah, I want to go out there because there's not really that much to do in the colony, so I think I should. They glance at you. Your mom holds up her hand to silence you and goes right back to talking. Geranium, she grates, you've said yourself that we need every person out there surveying for edible native plants. You're even going yourself. Why not our son? Your dad flails his hands helplessly. Because, Flulu, he's our son. It's our responsibility to keep him safe. a certain Disney movie, Finding Nemo comes to mind, where Marlin is told that if he never experiences anything, basically nothing will happen. And that is going to be a very boring life, and like she said, is going to make me act out. And also, I am not special. Like, I'm not a prince or something. I am simply another member of the colony. I should do my part. You're not keeping anyone safe by coddling him, your mom almost shouts, and your dad flinches in shock. Solene's survival depends on him understanding this planet we're living on. So you're not doing him or the colony any favors by pretending like that's not the case. Yeah, I can take care of myself. You're brave, but you aren't stupid. You assure them that you'll stay out of trouble. Your dad's shoulders sag as he shakes his head. You barely even know what's out there, kiddo, he mutters. Your mom's fierce expression softens. Hey, Solane, sorry. It's your birthday today, and here we are arguing like a pair of assholes. Happy birthday. They both give you a hug. We meant to order up from the canteen and have your usual birthday breakfast, but we got to talking about how Utopia's opened up positions in expeditions for kids 13 and older, and well, that's you now. I suppose we'll have to let you spread your wings someday, your dad relents. I'd just feel better knowing you were safe here inside the colony walls. Yeah, that would make it a prison, Dad. He gives your mom a faint smile. We decided early on to let you choose your own path in life, so if you want to join expeditions, we're behind you. Just be safe. Roger, roger. Okay, so you can talk to Dad. Just gonna look around. Okay, anyone else want to talk, or if there is anything to collect? Doesn't seem to be. You find your dad comparing some plant samples. When he sees you, he puts down the test tubes and gives you a big hug. Kiddo, he exclaims, then kneels down to look you in the eye. I've been thinking. I want to say I'm sorry your mom and I were arguing on your birthday. We disagree sometimes, just like every couple. But it's unfair that you had to see how the sausage gets made. Sausage? It's okay. He pats you on the shoulder. Thanks for saying so. You're a great kid. Your mom and I talked it out, he continues. We're both just really putting our everything into the farm right now, and it's making us kinda snappy. You don't have to worry about it, okay? He squeezes you in a hug. If you want to join Utopia's exploration team, just be careful. It's dangerous out there. Let's relax in the park. Since we do need to relax. You and Cal walk through the park, a special place set aside for growing ornamental plants from Earth. It was grown from a precious seed bank, preserved for over 20 years aboard the Stratospheric, before your mother started planting them here on Vertumna. Almost nothing here is grown for food, though many of them are technically edible. It's so green here, Cal says, stopping to smell a bush of fist-sized red flowers with velvety petals. Wow, they smell so sweet. If they are roses, no they don't. Roses do not smell good. Not my opinion, but still. It's so peaceful. Cal breathes deep, a funny smile on his face. It really is. This is one of my favorite places in the whole colony. You can really feel the love in every plant. One pretty white flower in particular is flourishing here, the astrantia, your mother's favorite. It seems to be growing faster than even native plants do, covering the paths and bluffs, that's not a good thing, with tiny white stars. You practically have to push clumps of it aside in some places just to make sure you don't crush any. Good thing it's so beautiful. Yeah, but I mean, I do hope that they have a dome around it because it's an invasive species. I don't know if I want to forget that. I'm thinking more like the zeros especially. So yeah, none of those. And maybe the ones as well. Hello. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Selene, how's it going, little bro? Chief Surveyor Utopia steps casually out to bar your way while making it look accidental. Whoa there! I don't know if you're ready to head out there and join the surveyors just yet. Why don't you skedaddle and stick to sports ball inside the walls for now? I'm tough enough. Well, I'll be, Utopia drawls, grappling you playfully. You ain't lying, kid. You got grit. She scans a roster on her hollow palm. Yup. Looks like you're approved to start with the junior survey teams. And you look like you won't wilt at the first sting of slapgrass. We'll keep you close to begin with, around here and in the Prosaic Plains. Come see me when you're ready for assignment. Awesome. Where'd you go? I'm guessing here. Let's see. Explore nearby gives bravery and perception. Oh, friendship with this. And survey the plains, perception, and animals. Our perception is bad. And animals is pretty low as well. What's our bravery? 19. Let's go with explore nearby. So we can get our bravery up to 20. Well, 21, but still. Alright. Yes? Utopia is working near the gates. This area has been deemed safe enough for kids to go for a hike, so long as you're back before dark and never go out during glow. There ain't a lot to see out there, she says. A logging camp, a few fields, some nice lookouts. Keep your eyes peeled for useful things, like that there mushwood log. She points to a light, sturdy piece of wood by the side of the road. Lumber carrier must have dropped it. Thank you. It's fairly safe out there, but that don't mean totally safe, she cautions. Don't go too far, and if you see anything that scares you, run like heck and make a ton of noise. She helps tighten the straps of your backpack. What you hoping to see out there, sweets? Stuff to collect. Utopia laughs. Take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, she teases. Suppose it's different on a brand new planet like this one, she says. We actually do need samples of basically everything, especially stuff that might be edible. She slaps you on the back. Things regrow pretty wild out there, she adds. If you've picked a place clean, give it a year. Bet it'll look like you were never there at all. All right. What can we find? If anything. The colony outskirts. Oh? That looks weird. A large woolly blue creature is floating here, a meter off the ground. It seems to be upside down, which is causing it some distress. Its segmented legs kick uselessly in the air as it tries to right itself. This must be a float cow. Okay, a fluffy cow. The colony is working on domesticating these, though you haven't seen one up close before. Her slitted eyes look at you imploringly. She makes a helpless lowing noise and tries again to flip over, but she can't. Figure out what's wrong with her. You take a closer look at the float cow. You've heard they float using a certain ratio of liquid to gas in their membranous bladders. So after some consideration, you figure out that the bladder on her back must be too full of liquid. Yeah, unfortunately I can't do that one, because my animals is just 16. That sounds bad, but sure. There's nothing for it. You have to pop her dorsal bladder and let the liquid drain out, or she'll never be able to flip over. She struggles and screams as you open your utility knife and jab it into her bladder. Immediately, you're drenched by a hot explosion of what you hope is milk. Gross, gross, gross! The float cow spirals away as the sudden jettison of liquid propels her away from you. You hope she'll be okay, but you are decidedly not okay with how you smell now. Anything else? Nope. You leave the path and sneak through a strand of mush trees to one of the little sawmills dotting this area. It's a small but busy operation, 3 people feeding mush tree logs into some kind of machine, while a 4th one directs a 4-legged robot with a plasma saw mounted on the front. I do need mush tree logs, so yeah, offer to help. The loggers are grateful for your help, even though teaching you how to log does slow down their whole process. When they're done babysitting you, they give you a piece of wood and tell you to take it back to the colony for them. Alright, so that's 2, I believe. I need 1 more for the xenobotany. Oh, ooh. Let's do this one. You let your mind wander as you're walking and bumble straight into a field of gelatinous blobgrass. Totally transparent, the sticky fronds are hard to see but even harder to ignore, especially once they start glomming onto your boots and slowing you down. It's like trudging through thick mud. You stubbornly decide to keep going, paying close attention to the visible signs of this blobgrass field, and there aren't many, just an absence of other vegetation. Look for a path through it. There we go. There it is. You can hop along from that rock to that fallen log, then climb over those old pieces of surveying equipment. You get through the villainous blobgrass. You spend a bunch of time on it though, and it takes some tricky balancing. It's tiring. And we're gonna have to head back soon. The muck hides interesting bugs and other treasure for those willing to put their hands down the right holes. Are you? Peek inside that hole. Looks dark. Unfortunately, my perception isn't that high. Not even close. Put your hand in there. Sweet! Literally, the hole is full of sugar bugs. These palm-sized balls of squish exude a sweet syrup when you tickle them. You fill a bottle with it, then let them go again. Should be worth a few kudos to antecedent in the kitchens. Okay, time to head back. You approach the colony gates. Go home. Are you sure? This will end the month. Yes, go home. You're back. Nice. Okay. Should talk to Cal and Dad. Nothing to collect, it seems. But I think we will talk to them. Oh, there is a mush log. Yes! I needed that. I think I have 3 now. Yeah, I have 3 of them. Awesome. Can actually do that thing as well. Anyway, I am going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!